Hi everyone, I am Dr. Suman, representing School of Business, SR University, Warangal. And today we would like to discuss the basic concept of entrepreneurship. What is the journey as an entrepreneur you should do? And we'll specifically see the value proposition canvas. How does we create a value for the customer? So with regarding to that, before we enter, I like to take on the basic perspective of how does So now any entrepreneur, if he has to start basically any product or service in order to make it to the market, or if he gets an idea, or probably if he identifies a problem, for the problem we have to identify a solution, which normally we call problem plus solution is equal to an idea, and that idea would mature over a period of time. So for that, we are trying to say it should contain certain parameters if that idea should really be make a sense, or it has to really launch into the market. So for that reason, we are trying to come out with a triad concept, which is called innovation. So we see that any startup idea should be innovative enough. So now what are the basically there are many studies which actually says that innovation would be basically on three different concepts. You can look at here if we just if I can see that first primary function of primary perspective of any thing that we want to show is whatever your idea or the solution you are coming out, is the solution desirable to the customer? So that's a preamble which you have to see, which you have to test. The first primary function, whether the customer is having a desire to purchase the product. Whatever the technology involved, however, how high the technology is, unless until if the customer doesn't actually need or desire of it, obviously that product you're now going to market or you're able to market it, the customer may not really purchase it or the product will not take off. Because the primary requirement here is the desirability of a customer. If a customer is desired about a product, yes, that's the primary fundamental requirement. As an entrepreneur or a startup owner, you have to see whether your product has a desiredness by the customer. And the second factor is a feasibility, the technological part. What kind of a technology you're using, whether technology is feasible, which means indirectly, can you deliver that? For example, if you come up with a great idea, which customer really need it, but whether that particular idea can you able to, is there any technology that actually makes sense to deliver it? So most of the time I take this example, like now you have got as the evolution of transportation, else from the revolution of wheel revolution, it has been many changes. Now you've seen bullock carts. To faster up, you got cycles. To faster up, you got vehicles like cars, trucks, trolleys, which can move or mobile from one place to the other place. Then to faster up your activity, you again got railways or trains, and now you also got aeroplanes. No, you assume that tomorrow you have to start from your school to your house to your school. So what is the desired by your customer? Everybody want to reach their house, their office or a school at the least time possible. Normally to my school, it takes half an hour for me to go every day. But I'm desired to do it in 5 minutes. or even less. Then now you come to, yes, the desire is there for me. So also with everyone. Everybody's desire to go to their offices at the quickest possible time they have to reach. But is there any feasible technology that is evolving? Probably the feasible technologies we have discussed. It can be an airplane or a chopper or a private jet. You can use, and of course, you can land up at the earliest possible way compared to your routine or regular time that you take to reach your place. But technology is feasible. Somebody may also say, alternatively, if you somebody is passionate about the cartoon character called Doraemon, and the Cartoon Network Doraemon says there is a concept called everywhere door. Everywhere door means if I want to go to my school, I can open up a door at my house, and the next step I get into my school. Is the technology feasible? Definitely not. We are happy by watching that particular cartoon, but in reality, that is not feasible. Technology wise, we cannot deliver, we cannot develop a product which can actually make you step in from your house to the place. Either case, so the feasible technology is a chopper. Now let's see the third dimension of your idea or a product that you're developing, whether it is viable economically, whether it is viable, or can you do a business. So if you develop a chopper or a helicopter or a private jet, how much does it cost? It costs something in crores. How many people purchase it? To mobile for their office from their house or to their school from their house. Definitely most of them doesn't afford to do that. So now we have to see in these cases. Now here, desirability is there with everyone. Yes, given a chance, if nobody charges us, we are very much happy to reach our office in a very, very limited time or a least time possible, that may be in 2 minutes or 3 minutes. But as for technology feasible, the concept of Doraemon's anywhere house, anywhere door is not possible at all. But the possibility is, yes, with a private jet, you can travel to the effective way in the least possible time. That technology you have. But definitely, coming to the viability, it is not. You cannot spend crores of rupees to travel on a daily basis to your house and also incurring expenses in case of fuel on day-to-day basis. So viability part, it is not possible. So now here, I cannot say that is innovative idea. No. If you look at the intersection part, if you look at that intersection part, that's how you can just basically you can make on. Now, coming to that, so here we would like to answer in those concepts of innovation. If you look at the central part of this, is a combination of desirability, feasibility, and viability, all the three. So customer to be desired of, economically it should be viable enough, and as a technology it should be possible. Then only you can call it an innovative product, and that can be a valid business model for any of the startup companies that you can actually do on. Now, when you look at how basically these kind of values you have to create. Now, customer has a lot of options, but customers need some kind of a desirability about the product. So what kind of desirability can you actually make sense? Now, to the best, we can have a concept called value proposition canvas. The value proposition canvas is basically a concept. Every customer actually looks at the value. A value benefit analysis they will see. I can purchase a soap for around $1, or maybe a soap which valued, a bathing soap valued around $2 or even $5. Each one of them, they deliver a different value proposition. If I'm paying $1, probably it has a different purpose to do. If I got $2 I'm spending, it has got different purpose to do. And if I'm paying a $5 I'm spending, obviously that has got different purpose to do. Now, when you look at it, the purposes are different. Now, same when you take a pen. So there's a concept of pen when people include, yes, obviously somebody can purchase a pen just to write for taking a $1 to complete his daily task of signing or maybe some kind of a day-to-day classwork activity. But when you're gifting it to somebody, to your loved ones or to your loved professor or to any of the employee, probably you spend some $50 or $100 to present a gift or an award by spending some amount with the Parker, the world-renowned pens. So look at the different two different concepts. So you're looking at a different value when you're using for different purposes. So now today we try to understand the concept of value proposition canvas, which actually we have got two concepts, which is customer segment, and the second one is the right extreme right view is customer segment, other one is value proposition. So in order to design the proposition, value proposition is you have to propose a value to the customer so that your customer can actually get benefit out of it. And the value that you are going to define to your customer is definitely is based on what exactly his requirement is. So now to define or to propose the value to your customer, and it's time for you to actually make what segment or what the customer requirement is. So to read, now we've got a customer segment, which we have got three different concepts. The first one is customer job. A customer job is something called, which we're showing here. A customer job is something like you're trying to make what kind of jobs the customer is trying to perform, or what are the unmet jobs the customer want to get, is looking what. So there is something which he is unable to perform, some job. So what are those jobs that customer is looking to be performed by him at ease? So now you also look at gains. What kind of gains is trying to expect? And what are the pains is trying to do? When we talk about the pains, say for example, every customer, I want to clean a fan, for example. A ceiling fan on my top of me, I just want to clean because it got dirt. So the job that I want to do is hassle-free cleaning of my ceiling fan. So that's what I want to perform. And obviously, the other thing is, as we know, what are the pains involved in that? The pains involved in that is It is height, so individually I cannot do, an individual cannot do, and I cannot clean because it is on at the rooftop. I may need a stool or a table in order to climb onto that, or a ladder to climb onto that. If I am unable to clean that, I may get some kind of a what you call allergy because of cleaning it. So all this comes under the pains which I am trying to do. Then what are the obvious pains? After performing the jobs or resolving the pains of a customer might also get to have some kind of a gains event. He might be expecting something more than to delight him, you have to give some a gain part also. Normally in my routines, I just say, I'll take example of most of the time, the example of a what you call a book my show, which is famous in India for booking tickets. So the customer job here is the customer is trying to, you want to watch a movie, so you want to get an hassle-free ticket booking. So what are the pains he's having? The pains he's having in booking the ticket is he has to travel by taking time out of his regular schedules. He have to use his energy, stand in the line, a queue, then book a ticket, come back, store it, and on the day of movie again he has to go. So these all traveling to and fro, spending his time on a busy schedule is always a pain for any normal person or any employee or any engaged busy student or anybody of the matter. So then in that case, what BookMyShow does? BookMyShow has come up with the concept of resolving booking tickets online, sitting at your place, or even from your mobile, wherever you are. They are performing a job of a customer job of booking hassle-free ticket booking has been done. You just open up an application, book your tickets, done, your pains are resolved. You did not travel, you did not stand in line, you did not waste your time. So every pain is resolved. But it also has a gains. A beautiful gains is it actually is giving you a chance of booking your own location where you want to locate your seats for where you want to watch the movie. And also, you don't want to go outside for any snacks in between your schedules. So you can actually book your snacks as well on the online. So these concepts are basically which are doing a concept of gain. So though they are not basically doing it, but it might help them in actually making a sense. So that's how the gains are very, very important for these. Now let's take one example before we actually to understand better. Let me show an example of a very easy to connect. Now here, Now here, now let's understand concept of there are patients who actually want to, they are looking out for a job to be performed, and the job is dialysis to be done at least 3 times a week, which is actually a tougher part. A customer who is suffering with a kidney problem, so he is actually looking out a dialysis for twice a week. So what are the pains he's having? The pains he's having is he has to, patient has to travel all the way to the hospital. The travel time is consumed. The travel expenses are more. And the many users who are infectious, so it may cause infectious to them. So the job to be performed, the patient is expecting the dialysis has to be completed at least thrice in a week, which is very, very necessary. For that, he has to undergo all these pains of travel time, expensiveness, infectious, and patients has to travel all these. Now, what are the gains he's having? So they're also looking for getting a protection from infectious disease, and dialysis at home is possible so that it will be easy for them, and also we actually make sense of having a no limit, even carrying it everywhere, every time. For that, one company has come up with the concept of dialysis performing at home. So what is the basic things that you have to do? So they have to understand this. For them, there's something called pain reliever. Just look at the pains part. What are the pains they have and what kind of pain relievers they're giving? They have designed a cheaper operating expenses and capital expenditures, a machine they have designed, which can be used at home, lightweight, easily transferable, home usage, cost efficient, easy operations. Anybody can operate of that matter. Cost-wise, it is very less, cheaper. It is very portable and lightweight. So what kind of product is developed? They have developed a home dialysis unit. They have developed a dialysis unit at home, which can be performed by an individual at a lesser or a affordable cost for them, which can be portable, lightweight. It can be used at home and easy to operate by anybody. So now see how beautiful the product is. It has a desirability of the customer that they're suffering from dialysis, so they need to be taken up. And it is easy for them to carry from one place to another. The technology is very such a way that it can be carried, is desired by the customer to carry. The technology is also very useful. It can be portable, lightweight, operated by anybody. And it is viable, but more number of customers can actually, economically it is okay, cost effective, so most of them can afford. Instead of traveling twice a week to an hospital, wasting their time and somebody to assist them again, so it's a wastage of two people time. So all this actually makes sense. So designing a portable dialysis unit for a home purpose is an absolute innovative product because most of them really, really need it. So that's the value. The value you have to see is either your product, if you design a product, either that can be used or that can be accepted by the customer, desired by the customer. Either that can be technically it can be developed. Third, either there is economically feasible means or the more number of customers try to purchase it is the cost effectiveness for the customer so that the good number of units can be sold so that our business can be viable and we can exist in the business by selling these many units to the customer. So all this has to be taught. So that's how. So our purpose of today's session is value proposition canvas. The value, every customer is very sensitive towards the value that they are getting for the cost that is incurred to them. If you're charging them extra, the extra value they expect. If you're charging them less, that doesn't matter whatever the value that you are going to give at that particular cost. So that's how I told. A pen, if you're giving for a nominal, in Indian context, we have a 10 rupees pen, people just use for a regular classroom activity. Somebody can use Parker to exhibit their status, privileged, assigning, or gifting to somebody. So everything has certain things. Now you look at the example of Sensodyne. A Sensodyne as a toothpaste is not the similar when compared to that of a Close-Up or Colgate or something, any others, the cheaper compared to Sensodyne. Sensodyne is definitely a premium product targeted to the people who have sensitive teeth. When you are solving a specific problem, customer is looking out for specific value in the product, they doesn't mind paying you extra. But either that is desired for them, customer pay for that, technology is possible. Did you have the product has the technology which can subsidize the problem that you have to look at? So that's how, for that reason, we have taken a value proposition canvas, which is basically one of the best concept to identify basically what customer jobs they are expecting to be performed, or jobs to be done by the customer, and what pains they have in between to understand them, the customer pains, and beyond that, what customer gains they're expecting to be very, very, what you call, to have more value on that, add an additional value on the pains resolving. So for any pain that you're going to have, we have a pain relievers. And for any gains that you're going to have, we have gain creators. Pain relievers plus gain creators is equivalent to a product or a service. So in a value proposition canvas, we have started with a concept called identifying the customer job. And we have ended by giving a solution for them in the form of a product or a service. In the last example, we have seen customer or a patient suffering with dialysis or kidney failure want a dialysis 3 times per week. We have given them a product called a home dialysis unit. So that's how look at the customer, understand the customer jobs, pains and gains, then create a relievers for the pains, creators for the pains. Then overall, that pain reliever and a gain creator would lead to a product or a service where the customer is looking to perform his job. That's what today's session is. Thank you very much for knowing more videos on this. We'll have some more sessions as well. That's all from today's, from Suman's School of Entrepreneurship and School of Business, SR University. Thank you very much.